Are you feeling stressed and in need of some relaxation? In today's video, we'll take a journey through the most satisfying and soothing jobs ever. And I'll also show you how condoms are made in information like the fries you eat at McDonald's could have been made a year ago. Get ready to unwind and experience some serious job envy. Here we start with transmission tower wires. We don't think of it much, but we use these every single day. They're how all of us get electricity. You may think the cables on these towers are spun by some kind of machine, but no, they're done by hand. That's right, these wires were actually coiled by hand. These workers truly are daredevils. Something tells me their helmets won't help much if they land on the floor. I have to say, knowing how these are made gives me a newfound appreciation for electricity towers. But have you ever wondered how these towers actually get to where they're supposed to be? You may think they're built from the ground up, but that's not true. They're actually made in a factory and then moved to the location by helicopter. Who knew electricity towers were so interesting? Next, let's take a closer look at rubber gloves. Did you know that normal fabric gloves are placed inside the rubber gloves? The fabric gloves are then dipped into hot rubber and left to cool. This process happens in many different colors, and I have to say, it's one of the most satisfying production processes I've ever seen. However, it's important to be careful around rubber glove factories, as they can be quite dangerous. The rubber has to be heated to 180 degrees before it melts, meaning that if someone fell into it, they would be boiled alive and coated in colorful rubber. This is how everyone's favorite summer snack is made, ice cream bars. These treats are made in a super satisfying way with laser precision to ensure the exact size. They're then dipped into melted chocolate and nuts, giving them that delicious hard shell. Finally, they're packaged and ready for you to enjoy. It's incredible to think that thousands of ice cream bars can be made like this in just a few hours. And this is how metals are painted. Metals are often painted using a powder coat. This is where powdered paint is sprayed onto the metal, but some factories simply opt to dip the metal into the powdered paint. They dip the metal in, shake it around, and just like that, the metal has been painted. Factories save literally hours every day by doing this. The end result looks just as good, and it's far more satisfying to watch than a normal paint job. Who knew watching paint dry could be so fun? Those are golden Easter eggs. And how are actually they made? Do they come from a magical goose? No, they're actually produced in a factory that makes thousands of them every day. The process involves squirting paint from a nozzle over the eggs, creating an incredibly satisfying sight. This is how fruit slices are made. Cutting up fruit by hand would take too much time, so factories use an amazing contraption that looks like a slow spinning blade. But don't be fooled, it's actually spinning so fast that the camera can't keep up with it. The blade is making so many rotations that the camera simply can't capture them all. They should call this machine the Fruit Ninja because it can cut mangoes at an incredibly fast pace and make them very thin. However, operators need to be careful where they put their fingers around this machine. This is how molten iron is used to create iron creations. Surprisingly, it's not all done by machines. Check out this guy as he welds molten iron. He spins it around with tongs like it's no big deal. It looks a bit dangerous, but I guess this guy is a pro and he looks insanely cool doing it. Now, this is how swirly gelato is made. This spinning machine has 6 nozzles, each of which squirts out a different flavor of gelato. The mechanism then rotates these nozzles all at the same time, making a beautiful swirling effect in this tub. If I worked in this factory, I think I would be watching this all day. It's just way too satisfying to take my eyes off. Here I want to show you something. Take a look at how fast this hay bale can be wrapped. It used to take farmers a long time to wrap hay bales, but thanks to modern farming technology, it now takes them just a few seconds. These hay bale wrappers can lift and spin hay bales. They are then shrink wrapped using plastic, making sure no hay bales get wet. I just hope no animals ever stumble into this machine. And this is how pasta is made. This pasta cutting machine has a rotating arm that moves in a circular motion. Firstly, it makes ribbed elbow pasta. This machine can produce thousands of pasta pieces every day. You simply feed the pasta dough in, and it does all the work for you. But this next production process doesn't even need a machine. This guy is just way too quick. Here, the man is making rock candy, and it's pretty amazing to watch. Next is one of the most popular foods on the planet. I am of course talking about McDonald's French fries. Potatoes arrive at this factory already sorted by size. They are then washed and peeled before being put through a grate that cuts them into perfect fry sizes. The fries are then sifted to remove any short or uneven pieces. Dextrose, a natural sweetener, is applied to the fries to give them their unique taste and trademark golden color. Sodium pyrophosphate is also used to keep the fries a nice bright color. The fries are then fried until they are half cooked, frozen, and put into packages before being transported to local McDonald's franchises. These fries can remain frozen for up to a year, meaning the fries you eat may have been made a year ago. However, due to high demand, they are normally used much earlier than that. When they are in the restaurant, all the employees have to do is put the fries in hot oil for 3 minutes and then sprinkle them with salt. And then you have your McDonald's fries. It's nice to know how the food you eat actually ends up on your plate. The next one is the most surprising thing, that how suitcases are wrapped, or more specifically, how they are protected during travel. Wrapping these suitcases may look strange, but it is actually quite effective. The suitcase is first pushed from beneath and then vacuum sealed with a colorful protective wrap. Next is the most satisfying thing to make. It's contraception. Condoms, for instance, are made of thin rubber and are subjected to quality control tests. The testing process involves filling them with water to ensure that the latex is strong enough. If any water leaks out, it indicates a hole, and the entire batch must be discarded. The testing is done on a random basis to ensure that all the condoms meet the necessary standards. They are also squeezed by a tester to ensure that no micro holes are present. In addition, each condom is inflated with air to check if it can withstand enough pressure. To be approved for sale or use, each condom must be able to withstand at least 1 kilo of Pascal pressure. Moving on with my favorite snack, it's ice cream sandwiches. Cookies are laid on a conveyor belt, and blocks of ice cream are then cut very precisely. Once they fall onto the cookie, another cookie is layered on top, which is done by a large rotating wheel. It's a simple process, but it's also super satisfying and delicious. Now let's take a look at how every college student's favorite snack. For sure, it's ramen noodles. The noodles are layered on massive conveyor belts and then exposed to hot air, which dehydrates the pasta. Once the noodles are dried, various condiments are added, and the noodles are sealed up in boxes, ready for sale. Now, if you love chicken nuggets, just leave the video, because you will stop eating chicken nuggets after seeing how they're actually created. For a long time, many people believed that a photo of a ground-up chicken meat factory was a chicken nugget factory, but thankfully, that photo is not a chicken nugget factory. Instead, the process looks like this. Chicken is cut up and then put into a grinder. A small amount of chicken skin is then added, which gives it a better flavor. The ground-up chicken is then put into a machine that molds the chicken into 4 different shapes. The chicken then goes down a conveyor belt and is coated with 2 layers of batter, 1 light layer and 1 thick layer. Afterwards, the chicken nuggets are fried, but only the batter is actually cooked. The meat simply warms up. That's because the chicken nuggets are then frozen. They're then distributed to local McDonald's stores, and that's how you get your chicken McNuggets. The process isn't exactly glamorous, but at least it's not as bad as some rumors might suggest. However, I don't think I'll ever eat chicken McNuggets again.
Bullshit. You fucking liar.
Subscribe.